Make sure my camera's going. If you hear gurgling, that's our sink. Bleh. Hello everyone, today I'm going to show how to make a pie crust and how to crimp the pie crust edges. Nothing crazy, no pie artwork here. I know some people are really good at that, but I've had a lot of people say they have trouble with the edges to make it look nice, so I'm going to show how to do that. Before I started working in a bakery, I was really bad at pie crust. After doing hundreds of pie shells, I think I finally got the hang of it. First, we need 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. A teaspoon of salt. Just give it a mix together. The flour just feels so soft and cold. Then add 6 tablespoons of cold butter cut into small pieces. Then I am adding shortening. This is healthy shortening, so it's made with palm and coconut oil. For me personally, making just one crust at a time, shortening does make it so much better. So if you don't want to use regular shortening, just use palm and coconut shortening. It makes the perfect crust, and it's not bad for you. Just add that in. Mix it together with your hands until there are no more big pieces. This does make 2 pie shells, so you could either freeze that one and use the other, or if you're making a double crust pie, just use both. This is what it should look like. It should be soft, no big pieces, and almost like sand. It's just so nice to play with. So soft. Okay, so at this point, you want to take half a cup of water and add some ice to it. Make sure the water is cold. Then you're going to add most of the water to the pie crust, but we don't need it all because the ice will have melted. Depending on the humidity of the air outside, we might need a little more water or a little less. So always start with less. And then just mix it together. This is starting to come together very nicely, but it still needs more water. So you should be able to squish it together with your hands and have it not fall back apart. So it's getting, I'm able to just put it together with my hands, but it's still falling apart when I crumble it. So I'm going to need a little bit more water. You want to try not to overwork it because that does create a tough pie. But again, if you're using your hands, it's harder to overwork it than if you're using a KitchenAid or something. See how nice this is? So then what you want to do is divide it in half. I have shaped them both. I'm going to put them in the fridge. I'm actually going to use plastic bags. If you have plastic wrap, you can use that too. I just find this easier. The reason you put pie dough in the fridge is so that the dough can relax, and that way when you bake it, it doesn't shrink so much. So I'm just going to stick these in the fridge for about half an hour, and I will be back. Okay, so the pie dough has been resting, and I am now going to show how to roll it out. So, first, of course, flour. You want flour on top and on the sides. So what I do is you give it a push, turn it, push, turn it. So that way it stays round and it doesn't get turned into a weird square. So this looks about right. I'm going to put the pie plate, lift half of it, put the pie plate under, and then lift it over. And then just pull the crust so that it fits the plate and is covering all the sides equally. Okay, so then what I do, take your hands and just push them against the sides to make sure that the crust is in against the plate. So after you've done that, take all the edges opposite from you and just roll them underneath. So once you've gone around, you're just going to take your finger and thumb and push the edges together. So push it together like this while you're kind of pushing it into the plate. So once it's looking like this, take your first finger, if you're right, I'm right-handed, so I'm using my first finger of my left hand and then my first finger and thumb of my right hand. Obviously, if you were left-handed, you would do it the other way. And just push it into each other. Once you get the hang of it, all your pies will look uniform and it just looks very neat. While it's nothing crazy, like some people do the pie art, it's nothing crazy, but it just looks super nice and it's super easy. So